Hey guys, Flash Fan 2008 here, and today I'm going to be going over Pokemon teams I made for 6 characters from Naruto. Go! I mean, the concept is really as simple as that. You clicked on the video, you know exactly what you want, let's get into it. Firstly, I'm going to start with the main man, the main character's team, Naruto Uzumaki, okay? So for Naruto's team, I'm going to have to go with Ninetales, Greninja, Delphox, Hisui and Voltorb, Zora, and Morpeko. I feel like some of the picks I made are pretty obvious, but I'm gonna need to explain myself on others, so let's go. Obviously, he's got the Ninetale Fox Spirit Kurama inside of him, and Ninetales is the only Ninetale Pokemon we have, so that was a given. But I put Delphox on the team to represent more like the jutsu that they use, and also get more Fox representation on the team. He mentored under the Frog Sage Jiraiya, and he's a ninja, so I had to put a Frog Ninja on the team. So that's why we had to go with Greninja. And also, Greninja's kind of sneaky. I feel like Greninja can be mischievous, but he's also like a main character Pokemon with another form he uses when he wants to go into battles. Like that's literally Naruto. But then the 3 kind of goofy ones, Zora is another Fox Pokemon, but it's more illusions. So I thought it could help represent more of Naruto's trickster side, but also represent his shadow clone jutsu, because there aren't really that many Pokemon that make clones that I felt would be like appropriate for this team. Hisui and Voltorb, hear me out, represents the Rasengan. Rasengan is basically Naruto's like go-to jutsu, and I know I'm oversimplifying it, but it's basically just like a little handheld bomb that he has, like a little circular bomb, which is basically what a Voltorb is. But I went with Hisui and Voltorb over regular Voltorb, number 1, because it's more ancient, and I thought it fit the aesthetics of Konoha and the Naruto universe better. But also, because like, Wind Rasengan, Wind Chakra is green, Grass is green, Electric Grass, Hisui and Voltorb. I feel like it fit. And also, I feel like it's kind of a callback to Mecha Naruto from the filler in the anime, so I thought that was kind of cute. And then finally, Morpeko. I feel like this is the perfect match I made for Naruto's team, and that's because Morpeko is a little guy with an extra demon mode when he gets hangry that's always eating. Like, I feel like that's Naruto's prime partner Pokemon. So yeah, that's the team I ended up making for the GOAT, the legend, the Hokage himself, Naruto Uzumaki. So the next Pokemon team we have is for Sasuke, and I ended up going with Arbok, Luxray, Electric, King Gambit, Hisui and Samurott, and Ceruledge. Hisui and Samurott, King Gambit, and Ceruledge all have swords within their Pokemon designs, and that represents how Sasuke is really good at using swords. One of the best people we see in the entire series, at least where I am in the show. Hisui and Samurott is kind of edgy, but also I feel like Sasuke deserves a starter Pokemon. Hisui and Samurott, I feel fits his vibe. Like, it's dark, it's brooding, but also it used to be heroic like regular Samurott. So I feel like that kind of fits Sasuke's vibe along with the sword stuff. Ceruledge is a fire type, which I felt was good to represent the Uchiha's fire style jutsu, but also it fits his color scheme, and I feel like it aura farms just as much as Sasuke would. King Gambit is the last sword Pokemon I put on here, and in Scarlet and Violet, its ability gives it power based on the amount of other Pokemon in your party that have died, which if that's not Sasuke's whole revenge mission, I don't know what is. Then we have Luxray and Electric. Both of them are electric types, which I picked to represent the Chidori. Luxray is another Pokemon I felt like kind of fits Sasuke's vibes. That's mainly why it's on there. Also, I put Electric on there to represent how he uses the Chidori post time skip in part 2 during Shippuden, where he kind of just like channels it through a bunch of things. And also, Electric is basically a snake. That's close enough to represent his snake training with Orochimaru. For the final Pokemon, the final snake, I put Arbok on there, again, to represent his training that he went through with Orochimaru. But also, the design on Arbok's chest, with the little eyes and the scary face, I thought that was a pretty cool homage to Sharingan. Basically Sasuke's signature ability at this point as an Uchiha. So that's the team I went with for Sasuke. Honestly, this was pretty solid. It's way stronger stats-wise than Naruto's is, but I think it fits his character a lot. Now for the only girl in this video, I gotta go with Sakura's Pokemon team, okay? So for Sakura's Pokemon team, I gave her an Indeedee, an Audino, a Beware, a Gastrodon, a Gudra, and an Azumarill. So the reasons I gave her these Pokemon can kind of be broken up into 3 categories. First, there's the healing she learned from Tsunade, which I represented through Audino and Indeedee. Audino is kind of Gen 5's Chansey, and it's kind of like the healing Pokemon that you can see in Pokemon Centers. Same with Indeedee for Generation 8. And also, Indeedee is a Psychic type, which I felt kind of represents Sakura's keen intellect. Gudra and Gastrodon just represent the snail summons that Tsunade does, especially Gastrodon, which has a Storm Drain ability, which lets it heal when it gets hit with water moves, which kind of plays more into the whole healing motif. And honestly, Gudra, like Luxray for Sasuke, I feel like it's just a perfect match for Sakura. Like, it's kind, it's strong, it fits the slug themings, and also it's kind of funny. Then Azumarill and Beware represent the immeasurable, monsterable strength she gets from training with Tsunade. Beware especially kind of fits into the whole pink cutie theme I'm going with. And if you've seen the Sun and Moon anime, you know Beware can get down. And Azumarill also kind of fits into that cutie theme, but in the games, it has the ability Huge Power, which doubles its attack stat. So I feel like that also represents Sakura's strength pretty good. So that's all of the kid members of Team 7 done. Now it's time for my GOAT, the Copy Ninja Kakashi's team. So for Kakashi's team, I gave him a Snubbull, Stoutland, Manectric, Komala, Hisuian Zoroark, and a Selgor. So 3 of those Pokemon represent the Ninja Dogs. Snubbull is just that one Ninja Dog he's always spawning in, the one I don't know the name of, but it's an uncanny resemblance. I had to throw a bro on the team. Manectric is an electric type, so again, like what I did with Sasuke's team, it's there to represent the Chidori, which Kakashi literally invented. In a lot of the Pokemon media, especially the Alola games, Stoutland is portrayed as like more of a tracking dog, which is usually what the Ninja Dogs do in the Naruto series, so I thought it was appropriate. And also, Stoutland is kind of like an older mentor figure, which fits Kakashi's role to Team 7 pretty well. Then we have Komala, and hear me out. So Komala has a log, and the substitution jutsu uses logs. No, but for real, I feel like Komala kind of fit Kakashi's vibes. Like when he's not in battle, he kind of puts up a facade of being like really laid back, really chill. And also like, I don't know, I feel like having a Komala to psych out his opponents and having it be really strong is the type of thing that Kakashi would do just to mess with people. A Selgor has less of a connection to Kakashi. It is more just a traditional ninja. I felt kind of fit the vibes on his team. And also, they're both going to be ore farming. I know for a fact they're both going to just be sitting in trees and just chilling. And finally, Hisuian Zoroark. I know I already put regular Zorua on Naruto's team, but I thought these 2 Pokemon were separate enough that I could get away with it. Hisuian Zoroark is there for the same reason Zorua was on Naruto's team, because it's like an illusion Pokemon. But in this case, it pays homage to his Sharingan. And also, like, he's the copy ninja Kakashi. I need to give him a Pokemon that can copy. But the main reason I have a Hisuian Zoroark in this team is literally look at their haircuts. It's the closest resemblance I could find that actually made sense for having this type of haircut on a Pokemon on Kakashi's team. I felt like that was one of the most appropriate. And this is the team I came up with for Kakashi. I think it's a pretty solid team. I think it fits his character. I think it fits his motifs. I think it fits his abilities. I like the team I came up with for Kakashi. Next, we have the Pervy Frog Sage Jiraiya. And honestly, his team, first team I made, was a team that made me want to do this entire video. And I think is the most fitting team in this entire video. So for Jiraiya's team, I have Shiftry, Ludicolo, Venusaur, Politoed, Croagunk, and Galarian Meowth. Politoed and Croagunk are kind of no-brainers. They represent the frogs that he summons. Same with Venusaur, which you might argue is a frog, is or not, but I feel like it fits. I didn't really want to give him like a Seismitoad or something, and I feel like Venusaur fits the type of frogs he uses to summon when he's standing on them. And also, Gigantamax Venusaur, that's just Gamabunta. I feel like that's the most fire Naruto reference I made this entire video. That's pretty one-to-one. Shiftry and Ludicolo remind me in essence of Jiraiya. Ludicolo is like another water type. It's basically a mythical frog being a Kappa. So I feel like that fits a lot of the frog-based jutsu he uses, especially some of the more stealthy ones. But then Shiftry just looks like Jiraiya. Like that, when I first was thinking of the teams, I was like, bro, Shiftry would be a perfect Pokemon for Jiraiya. Like, it looks like him. I feel like it would be a little harsher. It could help with training people, because Jiraiya has trained so many important people in Naruto. And then for Galarian Meowth, Jiraiya's a pervert. I feel like they could get up to some crazy stuff. He's got the scraggly homeless beard. Jiraiya's got the scraggly homeless hair. That's a match made in heaven. So there we go. That's the Jiraiya team I came up with. I think this was pretty fire. I think this is another really good team. So for the final team of this video, we got the demon hidden in the sand. We got Gaara. Bro, Gaara is always on demon timing, and I feel like the team I made reflects that pretty good. So the team I gave to Gaara is Palossand, Runerigus, Sandaconda, Cubone, Mimikyu, and Tyranitar. Palossand is one of the only 2 actual living sand Pokemon in the entire series. Plus, it's possessed sand, so it's a ghost. And I feel like that represented the sand in Gaara's gourd perfectly. Runerigus is a similar thing, but it's a ghost possessing wall paintings, but it's still a ghost ground possessed type Pokemon. And also, I feel like it reminds me of Shukaku effectively inhabiting Gaara's body pretty well. Sandaconda is enveloped in its sand protection, which references Gaara's sand's defense, but also just looking at Sandaconda, it kind of reminded me of the gourd that Gaara keeps on his back, so I thought that was kind of a funny resemblance. Mimikyu and Cubone are kind of just there to be sad orphans, like Gaara is. Mimikyu also references Gaara's sand defense, with its ability to disguise, protecting it from one hit. But also, it's just a misunderstood monster. It tries to make itself look better so it can get more friends, and I feel like that kind of references Gaara's origin story. Same thing with Cubone. Cubone's a ground-type orphan with a remnant of its mother on it. Gaara has the gourd and the sand protecting him, that might be his mother's soul, and Cubone has the skull it wears. And plus it's a ground type, so I thought that fit pretty well. And finally, Tyranitar. This one is just supposed to reference Shukaku. It's a big rock dark kaiju, and also it has the sand stream ability, which lets it bring in sand in the Pokemon games, and I felt that referenced Gaara's sand pretty well. Also, I think it kind of looks like Shukaku if you squint. So there we go. That's all 6 Naruto Pokemon teams I made, and honestly, I think I did a pretty good job. This video was really fun to make. Like, coming up with these teams behind the scenes was really fun. So if y'all want me to do more Naruto teams or do Pokemon teams for other characters and animes, let me know. But that was a Flashbang 2008 production. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share this with y'all friends and family, and I'll see you next time. Flashbang 2008 out.